before we actually discuss anything, I need you to take a look at this video. Like you saw in that video, this is a robbery of an Mpesa shop. And I was actually shocked at how common this is. When I was doing research for this video, I went online to try and get some videos like the one I just showed you. There are several others that you will find at the end of the video. But I was shocked at just how many there are. This appears to be something that is very common to happen to Mpesa shops getting robbed. Yeah. And when you're thinking of investing in an Mpesa, this is one of the concerns that you might have. Yeah. What if somebody came in and robbed you of the money that you have? And remember, this is an Mpesa shop. It relies on the cash that you actually have. So it's very wise to think of how you can actually protect yourself and also your business in case of such incidences. Now, if this is your first time in this channel, we usually discuss insurance and also other related types of investments. So please make sure that you subscribe and hit on the notification button so that you're notified whenever we do a new video. Now, like I was saying, this appears to be something that is very common across the country. I saw videos ranging from Mombasa to Nairobi to Malindi and Kisumu. You can watch them online, they are available. But there are some steps that you can actually take to mitigate some of the risks that you can face when you're operating an M-Pesa shop. One of the risks is the risk of theft during business hours, like you saw in that video. So that attendant was robbed during business hours while they were operating, and you saw that those men went straight for the cash box here, and I believe that they emptied everything that was there. So assuming that the person had 200, 500,000 operating cash, maybe some money was already in his M-Pesa account, so that is usually not covered by most insurance policies. But then again, that is difficult to get within the duration that those men took. We'll be focusing on the physical cash that they would have taken. So they basically emptied the cash box that was there. And if that person had 200 or 500,000 shillings, like I was saying, then that is a huge step back to his business. Yeah. So it takes a lot of time to grow your business, and growing your M-Pesa to a place where you have maybe 1 million shillings you're operating with will take you some time. So taking up a policy that will cover you for the same will enable you to get back to business once a robbery happens to your premises. Because again, you cannot fight them. There was a video that I saw earlier where a lady actually caught the thugs who came to rob her, and unfortunately she was shot and died. So definitely don't fight them. You can take up an insurance policy, and whenever something of this kind happens, then the insurance policy will be able to compensate you for the same. So that is the first risk that insurance policies we protect you against the risk against robbery. No, there is a second risk that you mainly face, yeah? And this is categorized as robbery in transit. Once in a while, you need to take your cash to the bank to maybe buy a float, yeah? And handling such cash comes with a lot of risks. You can take up an insurance policy. Again, it will cover you for the same. So if, for example, you are transporting 500,000 to the bank and you got robbed, the insurance policy will be able to compensate you for that. So that is the second risk, theft in transit. So the third type of risk that you'll be facing is money lost as a result of damage. So if you were looking at that video again, one of the things that those people omitted when they were getting in is that they were kicking around trying to break in. Chances are in the process of theft, yeah, a lot of cash may be destroyed, yeah, maybe ripped into pieces, and some could even get burnt or destroyed in other ways. And it might be difficult for you to actually go to central bank and ask for them to replace that cash when it's already destroyed, yeah. So you need a fallback plan. When you have an insurance policy on the same, you will be able to get compensated for money that was actually damaged, not stolen, but money that was actually damage. This can actually happen because you can find that a fire might erupt on your premises, yeah, or any other type of occurrence that might actually damage the cash that you hold, yeah. So this is another type of risk, and this will equally be insured by an insurance policy that you can take up. So the fourth type of risk is money lost while in the custody of an employee. This is another very common thing that actually discourages a lot of people to invest in Mpesa shops, or that has cost a lot of people a lot of losses in Mpesa shops. Maybe you had an employee that you hired and they were not as trustworthy as you thought, and they could have stolen the money, or in some way money went missing while in their custody. So you can actually take up an insurance policy for the same. And in case such an occurrence happens, then an insurance policy will compensate you for the same. Yeah, this is something that has happened to a lot of people. Remember, cash is very tempting, and when somebody is dealing with a lot of cash, they can be tempted to actually take the money and run away with the same. It is, however, advisable to always vet your employees well, to make sure that it is easier for even police to track them in case they actually stole your money. So the fifth type of risk that you'll be facing when you're operating an Mpesa shop is that you might be injured, yeah, or your employee might be injured, yeah. Like you saw in that video, that guy was very cooperative, and due to the way that he was actually cooperative, the thieves didn't, or the robbers didn't see the need to actually harm him. But for the customers, you saw some who were resisting, and the robbers had to use or threaten them with guns. So this could also happen to an employee or you personally who is operating an M-Pesa shop, and you need to take a personal accident cover. So this will pay you in case you're injured, and you can actually use that money to try and get your life back to where it was. You could, for example, have used a lot of money in hospital, and you could perhaps have also lost a lot of time that you are not working. Having a personal accident cover will help you to recover financially as soon as you can. The sixth and final one is that you can actually insure your personal property that you have. So in that video, you saw that one of the first things they did once they gained access to that M-Pesa shop is to actually rob that person of their personal effects. You have the phone, maybe there was some cash. You can equally insure that to make sure that if there is a robbery and they actually rob you of your personal effects, some which can be very valuable, you could maybe have a watch, an expensive phone, some cash that you had on you that does not belong to the business but yours personally, you can insure yourself against that. So the risks that we have just discussed can all be covered using one type of cover, except perhaps the personal accident cover. Yeah. So the rest of the risks can fall under one type of cover, mainly called money insurance policy. Yeah. And it's offered across the board. There's so many companies offering the same. And it depends with the amount of money that you actually want to insure. The more the money that you need to insure, the more the premiums that you will pay. So you can definitely talk to an insurance provider. You can talk to me personally, and we'll be able to do a quote on the same based on the amount of money that you transact or hold in cash, and you'll have a policy that can protect you. The other good thing that you need to maybe think of is having a camera on your premises, since this will be important when the investigators are investigating that particular claim. Yeah. So make sure that you probably have a camera to show as proof. And this is one of the challenges that is mainly faced when you talk about cash in transit, because it becomes very difficult to actually prove to the investigators that you were holding that particular amount of cash and you are taking it to the bank. So make sure that you have some camera as a fallback plan on the same. Now, there's an extra cover that I did not discuss because it doesn't come as a package on the money insurance policy, which is that you can actually insure the property, other types of property that you have in your Mpesa. You are seeing that a lot of Mpesa now are also selling phones. They're also selling maybe earphones, chargers, and whatever other types of merchandise that they actually sell. And this might be also stolen, like you saw in that video. And you can insure the same to make sure that if anything happens, you will be able to be compensated on that. Yeah, that is a totally different type of policy, but it's equally very useful. It mainly depends on the value of assets that you will be having. Yeah, so if you have phones worth a lot of money, then that means that probably your premium will be a bit higher. But again, you can also talk to an insurance representative and they'll be able to give you a quote on the same. So that is all we had today on money insurance. Like I promised you, I will leave you with some more videos that you can actually see in order for you to get the importance of that particular policy. These things are happening across the country. There are very many videos available out there, and it's really important for you to take the next step, or at least to consult an insurance agent to at least know some of the steps that you need to take in order to insure yourself. Now, until next time, have a good one.